We have our first true playoff matchup of the series here, as the Vancouver Blizzard, led by their young studs, have made it to the 7th seed after winning game 1 of the play-in tournament in a live stream we did. And if you have not watched that live stream, I absolutely would recommend it, not only for the gameplay of course winning the play-in game, but for the stuff that we talked before and after the game about, particularly after, which is something that I of course want some opinions on. Also before, some really important stuff I want opinions on. But let's talk about the strategy that we have going for us against the Dallas Mavericks here. Rotation wise, it's going to remain the same for now. Again, this strategy, this lineup that we've used, as Leonard Miller is slightly shaken up. He has a day-to-day injury here. Let's see what it is. I kind of forgot what it was, but he has just a sore left knee. It'll probably only affect game 1 here, and he's only playing 12 minutes. But we've yet to lose with this rotation timeline this year. It's looked really good in every game, so we're going to keep it. In terms of our matchups, there's really just the two guys in the backcourt that you have to worry about. And so we're going to have Cameron McKnight match up against Kyrie Irving. We're going to keep that tight. We're also going to hedge those screens. I liked what that did going against Luka Doncic in the last game, and the centers for the Mavericks aren't really shooters, so I think the hedge won't be super risky in that sense. But we're gonna have McKnight on Kyrie, and then whenever he's in, whenever the 2 point guards are in, I want Lonzo Ball to be the one that guards De'Aaron Fox. Fox not nearly as tall as Doncic, so I don't think Albert Ellis will be as much of an issue guarding him. We're gonna have him on ball pressure of moderates, not doing a ton yet. You know, we can always alter some of this stuff as the games go along if there's a certain play that they're using to absolutely kill us. But for now, want to give him just enough space so that he thinks he can shoot it, because I mean, De'Aaron Fox can shoot for sure. He's not like an elite shooter though, so if we can give him enough of a gap so that he can't easily just blow by us, but stay close enough that we can at least semi-contest his shots, I think that might be the way for De'Aaron Fox. Those two are really the only elite offensive threats. You're gonna have to watch for Derek Lively, of course, in the pick and roll and on the boards, but we can see if there's a need to change anything on him later. I'm not really worried about it. I think he and Duran is going to be a very fun matchup for sure, just not one that I'm ultra worried about making specific game plans for. And then something else that I will be doing for the playoffs specifically is I'm also going to be creating custom lineups and trying to come up with a strategy to beat our team for these opponents, just because I feel like our team has been very powerful in spotlight games, and I feel like part of the reason is that custom lineup is so powerful, just making sure that there's never any lineups on the court that don't have good scorers. The CPU doesn't really do that super well, so I'm going to be creating some custom lineups for any opponent we match up against in the playoffs, starting here with the Kings, who will never be without both Fox and Irving on the courts. And they have some options for trying to stop Saramago. I'm going to start Jordan Walsh off first, but if he doesn't work, and I don't know if he will, I think Xavier Tillman is kind of the next man up in terms of somebody that I would try against Ayrton Saramago. But that's the lineup that they're going to be using here. And then in terms of just matchups, I don't have any specific player matchups for Saramago. I don't think there's a Saramago stopper on this team necessarily. They'll be using moderate, mostly again to stop the drive and try to force him into some lightly contested jumpers. We're going to go under on-ball screens, or they're going to go under on-ball screens for Saramago. Try to force him to be a shooter. They're also going to hedge because the Blizzard do not have a good shooting center, at least when their starters on the floor. And then even Hardy's not great, but those are the only updates for now. Again, for either team, I'm not going to go super heavy into the specifics unless I see Somebody's absolutely killing it. And so this is kind of fun for me. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how the Blizzard can win games, but trying to play it from the other angle and figure out a way to stop the Blizzard was something that was fun for me to try to do for the Mavericks. I don't think they're a very strong team for stopping Saramago, but I'm certainly going to try to do my best to stop the Blizzard while simultaneously doing what I can to get them to win the series. Playing both sides of the coin going to be difficult, but I honestly think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it here. So with that being said, let's kick off our first ever playoff series. And here we are, officially ready to kick off our first ever playoff action here in Vancouver Blizzard history. Now, I know it took me a little while to get this episode out, and I'm sure by now you can tell why, with this episode being over 2 hours long. We're doing the entire playoff series in this episode. Took me forever to edit a video of this length, of course. I think raw footage wise it was over 5.5 hours long. I watched every single minute of this series. I'm excited to show it to you here. Saramago goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Maybe a little bit of nerves to start off his first playoff game, but because we're watching so much footage, there will be parts of like the second and the third quarters, and even some fourth quarters if the game's already kind of out of hand, that we will skip over just for the sake of making this not a 3-hour episode. I don't think I can avoid making it longer than 2, but you know, rather than showing clips of an entire game, if there's a stretch in kind of the second and third quarter where the lead stays the same and nothing major happens, I think we might have to skip around in some of those. But other than that, we're getting every single possession, save maybe like an illegal screen possession or one where the game just kind of glitched and somebody stands there until there's 2 seconds on the shot clock and puts up a shot. Other than that, it's playoff basketball, and we need to see just how good or bad we are performing and any adjustments that need to be made in between games. And we're now a few minutes here into the first quarter. McKnight with some nice defense on the Kyrie Irving attempts. Charting up for the mid-range pull-up. Mago gets it to go 9-5 for the Blizzard. Kyrie again. We're going to see a lot of Kyrie Irving in this ball game. Dallas runs their offense through their 2 star guards, and that is going to be something we're going to have to defend for the entirety of this series. Derek Lively matched up against the point guard in the post. Wisely finds the wide open man. That's Jordan Walsh for the triple, giving Dallas the lead. Mago, tons of space on the catch and shoot, still no good for him. Fox finds McCollum, catch and shoot opportunity, and back-to-back misses here. Duran running it in transition. Trying to find Saramago down low, gets the shot off, but Walsh with a nice defense to force the miss. McCollum, a second chance at 3, missed again, but Lively cleaning up the glass. This Lively versus Duran matchup is, I think, one of the most intriguing just because of how well balanced I think it could be here in the series between these 2 centers with very similar skill sets. McCollum 0 for 2 to start this game from beyond the arc, but finds the bottom of the net on that attempt. Duran setting up a post opportunity for the Brazilian beast. Step back from the mid-range. Pure. Fox trying to sauce up Lonzo Ball. Checked into the game here. And Lonzo with the nice defense. Inside to Mago. Spins and finds Josh Green, who swings it to an open Albert Ellis. That dribble puts the lead back into the hands of the visiting Vancouver Blizzard. Fox, little step back from the mid-range. Too much mustard on it. Lonzo with a nice contest. Pick and roll. Duran, the pump fake, frees him for the easy two-handed slam. Jalen Duran making things happen on the inside, and as is De'Aaron Fox, who fights through the Saramago foul and earning himself a three-point play opportunity. Josh Green, that's a tough shot, and he's gonna be off the mark there. Running the court is De'Aaron Fox, but Lonzo Ball so far, good defense on the Dallas point guard. Pick and roll, Saramago with a clear lane to the baskets, and the easy flush. Not going to get many easier tries than that, being, of course, the emphasis of this Dallas defense. But he does get another nice slam there, some space created, but really the pinpoint pass to freed him up there. Hartenstein had blue jerseys all around him, gets fouled on his attempt. Christie on the drive. Does a nice job fighting through contact of McCollum there. Couldn't get the layup to fall, but earned himself a pair of free throws. Fox. Step back, short mid-range, and it's off again. Continues to struggle with Lonzo defending him. Lonzo on the offensive end this time, unable to drill the triple. Murphy gets a nice screen, freeing him up in the corner for the three ball for the Mavericks. Murphy on the defense, forcing the Saramago misfire. After the pump, McCollum fires behind a three, and it is no good for him. Hardy, quick to pull the trigger on the pick and pop three, and it's right down the barrel for his first playoff points. That miss there will end the first quarter here of Game 1, and Vancouver has themselves a 4-point lead here on the road. I think pretty even quarter there. Both sides showing some nice things on both ends of the court. Kyrie checked back into the game, going against McKnight here. Nice drive to the baskets. McKnight stuck with him close, but Kyrie is a prolific finisher with either hand. McKnight trying to answer with a mid-range pull-up. Unable to do so. Kyrie now has the matchup against Josh Green. Once again, just gets to the basket, but the help defense by Cameron McKnight showing up in a big way. Leonard Miller from the wing. No good on that triple. Inside pass to Schroeder. Can't finish the easy layup. Gets his own rebound and finds the open man. Hartenstein unable to connect. Lonzo. Pull up from beyond the arc. Misses again. Been a great defender so far. Unable to really get things going scoring-wise, though, in this game as Kyrie uses the pump fake to draw the Josh Green foul. Shot clock winding down. Beautiful pump fake by Lonzo. Gets him his first jump shots of the game. Kyrie trying to sauce up McKnight. Step back from the mid-range is no good. A little long on that one as Lonzo slowly steps back into a three. Dennis Schroeder with it. Finds Furphy on the inside. Leonard Miller with the defense and the rebound. Miller now on offense, unable to connect on the three. Kyrie catch and shoot from top of the arc. That's an easy look for a scorer of his caliber. Speaking of easy looks, McKnight gets wide open off the screen. Answers right back with a triple of his own. And here we're going to do the first of those cut forwards here. It was a 1-point game before we cut. Now a tied ball game here. Just 3.5 remaining here in the second quarter. Ellis dribbles into a mid-range jump shot there to give Vancouver the lead. Kyrie trying to create some space against McKnight, but the defense is solid there. The tough jumper will not fall. Ellis with it. Looking to isolate against Schroeder and pulls up from the mid-range again, this time unable to get the jumper to fall. Roddy with it. Deep wing three-pointer there. Hauled in by Jalen Duren after the miss. McKnight to Miller. He's quick to fire again. This time it goes down for the backup four-man. And Vancouver now on an 8-0 run here. Three ball is missed by Kyrie Irving. Lonzo the other way. Too strong on his mid-range shot. Furphy the pass ahead to Lively. Dallas looking to find a quick basket, and they do as Lively finishes it off with the left. Mago now in the game. He's driving baseline, trying to create some space on Lively, unable to do so. Christie, that three ball rims in and out. Kyrie inside has a couple of defenders around him, and that's going to be McKnight's fourth foul here of the first half. A little bit of foul problems. Kyrie is a tough man to guard. There is no doubt about that. Walsh pulls in the Max Christie miss as now De'Aaron Fox has it. Going against Saramago. The three ball drops in for De'Aaron Fox. Up top for Duren. What a pass. Right on the money, and Duren slams it home. Tie ball game, 44 apiece, and McKnight will pick up foul number 5, and we are yet to reach halftime. Saramago doubled in the post, and that's gonna be no good from the dominant big man, and we're gonna go into halftime down 2 here in game 1, and really the free throw difference is what I want to highlight here. 16 of 16 for the Mavericks, 4 of 6 for us. We're beating them in assists pretty handily, but Kyrie is getting to the line 13 of 13 in the first half. 5 fouls on Cameron McKnight. I don't know if it was during the time where we were cutting or not, but I know McKnight did have a foul on a three-pointer in there, which always sucks. Duren with 4 assists at the half is pretty rad here. Just 2 of 8 for Lonzo Ball. And of course, biggest storyline, I think, is that McKnight is just 1 foul away from fouling out. We have yet to start the second half. Lively in the post. Feeds it to De'Aaron Fox, and that's a nice pass to get things going for the Mavericks in the second half. McKnight pulls up for 3. That one's no good. Duren skies in and lays that one in. Kyrie to Lively. Trying to drive in on Duren. Swings it out to De'Aaron Fox instead. Tough step back jumper. Before we get any further here, I did want to switch up the matchup against Kyrie. I just think that I'd rather have a worse defender on Kyrie for the rest of this game than have McKnight foul out super early in this one. So Kyrie might have a slightly easier time scoring here in the second half now that McKnight's not guarding him, although he was on that possession with some great defense. Avoiding the foul. Duren gets blocked in transition, and now Dallas goes the other way, trying to go up top. Lively didn't even jump until it was well into Duren's hands, and Christie unable to get the transition baskets. That's a tough 3 by Kyrie Irving. Leaning, but he hit it anyway. Mago drives in on Walsh. Nice contact to force the miss there. Lively to Fox in the corner. That 3 ball is down the barrel, making it an 8-point Dallas lead here a few minutes into the third. Saramago out to Ellis. Plenty of space. but not able to make the most of it there on that catch and shoot opportunity. Roddy with it, feeds Kyrie inside. He finishes. And the lead extends to double digits. Mago pulls up for three. Pulled it a bit left. Vancouver's offense going a little cold here. And now Ellis picks up his first foul of the game. And Dallas is going on a run here to start the second half. Duran pulls up for three on the catch and shoot, and he hits it. That's something we hadn't really seen him do. I thought we had gotten that issue out of our offense, but hey, he's actually the one that's making his shots right now, so I can't complain too much. Albert Ellis, nice finish in traffic on that opportunity. Let's jump ahead here. Dallas still with a 6-point lead. A little bit further here into the third quarter as Josh Green misses the baseline jumper. Fox thought he had a clear lane to the basket there. He ends up pulling up and missing. Lonzo gets some space off a Saramago screen, but misses on the jumper. Not been Lonzo's best shooting day as Fox attempts a very difficult three and misses. Josh Green on the cutter play gets fouled as he goes up. Beauchamp guilty of the foul there. Hartenstein off the catch. It's one free throw line extended. Green, plenty of space off of the screen, and he hits the triple, cutting that Dallas lead in half. 71-68 here, less than a minute in the third. This is certainly not the offensive pace we are used to with our Vancouver Blizzard. Usually well into the 80s at this point, if not even the 90s as we get to the close of these third quarters. Dallas's defense has proven to be a bit better than I was giving them credit for in these pregame, preview of this series. Saramago with the fancy finish, showing off his strength, collecting his own miss and slamming it home. Vancouver will lead by one. We've got ourselves a tight ball game here in game one through three quarters. We haven't really seen this team tested in spotlight games in the fourth quarter much, and I'm excited to see what this game can show us in terms of this team's clutch ability down the stretch of these games. Albert Ellis, tough three, leaning off the screen, but really pretty jump shot there. Murphy trying to respond, but it's too strong. Miller in transition. That catch and shoot opportunity is no good. Schroeder driving baseline, finding Kyrie Irving inside. Nice defense by Josh Green to force the miss. Miller, another catch and shoot. This one is down and in. And Vancouver with a nice start to the fourth. Kyrie Irving, strong take there on the drive. Ellis with it, trying to find Josh Green inside, and he does. Furphy on the defense. He goes up and misses that point-blank opportunity. Furphy right there with him all along as Schroeder will go and draw the foul. Ellis. Nice physical play there on the interior to get the layup to go. Kyrie fires off a screen, drilling the open three. Putting it back down to a 2-point Vancouver lead. Blocked away by Furphy there. I don't know why we're going to that play to Josh Green so much on the inside. I think we have better plays and players that we can go to here. Isolation for Albert Ellis going against Schroeder. Instead, he'll swing it out to Lonzo Ball, out to Josh Green. That three is no good. Swinging out to Kyrie. His catch and shoot triple gives Dallas the lead, and the crowd is feeling it here in game one. Hop step for Ellis. Nice finish again. He's had some nice drives here. 6 of 11 on the ball game. Kyrie, tough finish. Albert Ellis with a nice defense. And now Vancouver can take the lead back here. But the shot clock is winding down. Ellis going to have to come up with something. Got some decent space on the baseline, but no good on the jumper. Furphy in transition with the slam will force the Vancouver timeout. Dallas up by 3, 7:24 remains. All the starters back into the game for the Blizzard. Christie fires up a 3 and misses. Lively on the rebound. Now he gets the ball in the post. Mismatched against Ellis. He will score through the Saramago foul. 6-point Dallas lead. Duran on the inside. Roddy on the defense. And Duran corrals his own miss and puts it right back up and in. Walsh. Catch and shoot. Saramago right there. Now trying to find Saramago on the inside. Max Christie just with an awful pass. And it's going to result in a transition foul on De'Aaron Fox. So quick to get down the court is De'Aaron Fox. McKnight curling off a screen. No good from 3. Score remains a 6-point Dallas lead. 90-84 here. Over the halfway point here in the fourth quarter. Ellis left all alone from 3. You gotta make the most of opportunities that wide open. Luckily, though, De'Aaron Fox also misses an equally wide open opportunity. Shot clock winding down. Forced to just give it to Ellis in the corner. Christie's got to hit him sooner than that. Walsh coming off the screen and hitting the mid-range jumper. Saramago now with it. He pulls up beyond the arc. That one falls for him, making it 92-87. Walsh trying to respond, and he does. All of a sudden, Walsh showing some jump shooting prowess here in the fourth. Mago gets the double team and just kind of takes a quick jumper out of it. Probably not the best result we could have gotten there on that possession. Pushing off a De'Aaron Fox miss. We go to McKnight inside. No good on the layup. Roddy with some strong defense there. Irving, tons of space on the baseline. Luckily, he missed the shots. One of his easier attempts of the ball game. He's been doing some tough shots selection here. Down by 8. Christie with an impossible 3. And he hit it. That is a tough look, and it makes it a 5-point ball game. Under 3 minutes remain. We're going to watch out the rest of this game. Tough circumstances on the road against the number 2 seed Mavericks. Their defense has been better than I gave it credit for. Really bothering a lot of our Vancouver players here in this game. Meanwhile, us on the defensive end, pretty solid here. Dallas still, of course, under that 100-point threshold. We're going to really need to clamp down here in the clutch. McKnight feeds Ellis on the baseline. He's got Kyrie Irving defending him. Spins around and gets absolutely stuffed. I don't know if he was trying to draw the foul there or what, but Kyrie Irving was all over that one. Inbounding from the baseline, McKnight to Christie. He awaits a Saramago screen. And just nothing doing, but with 1 second remaining on the shot clock, we get a Saramago slam. That was a bit lucky there. That was very close to a shot clock violation. Instead, it's a 1-possession ball game under 2 minutes. Kyrie defended by Ellis. Pump fakes, and Ellis forces him to pass out. De'Aaron Fox, step back. This one's no good. Duren on the rebounds. Ellis takes the shot, top of the key. Rattles out, it would have tied the game. Kyrie in transition, misses as well. It will remain a 3-point ball game. Ellis feeding Saramago, back out to Ellis. He gets a second try, misses again. Oh, both pretty solid looks for Ellis that would have tied this game. Instead, Dallas tries to extend to a 2-possession lead. Kyrie on the take. No good. Nice help defense there. We have a third straight possession where we can try and tie this game, or we can go inside to Saramago. He makes the shots with the left. Under 50 seconds remain. I apologize if you can hear the planes overhead. There's not really much I can do about it. Kyrie spinning, dishing out to De'Aaron Fox. He's got a 1v1 against Max Christie. He pulls up and hits the free throw line jumper with 31 seconds remaining for Vancouver. One timeout still on the board as well. So a lot of options for Lamont Powers and his Vancouver squad. And then we waste the last timeout. Why is 2K like this, dude? Why are these sports games so bad at timeout management? Why would you take that timeout there? Why? It's such a terrible decision. Now we have no timeouts, man. Saramago with it. He hits the lefty layup. Still 21 seconds remaining. Boy, it would really be nice to have a timeout that we could use after we send Kyrie Irving to the free throw line. What a joke, man. Yes, we still had a foul to give, so might not be Kyrie. It'll be De'Aaron Fox instead. 20 seconds left. Unbelievable, man. See if we can get a miss here from De'Aaron Fox. That'll really open up our options here with our final possession. Instead, he goes clutch, 2 for 2. Vancouver needs a triple. 15 seconds. Looks like we're setting up something inside for Saramago. We need a 3. We give it to Duren. What are we doing? Are you serious? What was that? Albert Ellis had nobody near him. And Saramago passes it to freaking Jalen Duren. Even Duren right here should have passed it over to Ellis. Instead, what a terrible, terrible possession. Why are we going to Saramago on the inside in the first place? We needed a 3. Wait, Roddy went 0 for 2. We still have a chance. Christie, don't know why he pump faked it. It allowed the defender to come and contest the shot. I guess he was hoping for the foul. A crazy, crazy game number 1, and Dallas will sneak out with a 3-point victory. Vancouver absolutely wasting the end of the game, wasting a timeout, and our final go for the tie shot was a freaking Jalen Duren 3. Technically it was Christie, but it was really Jalen Duren because you can't expect Roddy to go 0 for 2 from the free throw line. I was so upset at the finish of that game that I didn't even look at the box score. We're hopping right into game number 2 here. I swear, if I see Jalen Duren take a 3-pointer in the clutch, I'm gonna be livid. He shouldn't take a 3-pointer at all. He literally, out of all of our spotlight games, taken 1 all season, and that was the end of half heave. We saw him take multiple 3s, including the biggest shot of the entire game. But we're past that now, and we're into game 2. Jalen Duren with the first shot of this game, and it's no good. Lively trying to shoot over Albert Ellis, and Ellis, nice job forcing the miss. Ellis gonna get fouled on the three-point shot. Nice to finally see it be us that benefits from the stupid foul there on the jump shooter. De'Aaron Fox step back jumper and pulled it left. In transition, Duren finds Ellis. That's swatted away. Still 2-0 early. Fox step back, rattles around and in for the Dallas point guard. Saramago, way too much space beyond the arc. Not going to make him pay. And Duren gets the harm plus the hoop. 3-point opportunity for him. Kyrie trying to draw the foul. He's done a nice job of that in the first game. And Jordan Walsh with the transition steal. Fox takes the mid-range jumper and hits another one. Good start to the game from him. He didn't shoot particularly well in game 1. Duren trying to get Lively to bite on the pump fake, but just he was not having it. De'Aaron steps back. He's hit a couple shots so far, but he continues to take just tough shots. Saramago in transition, just bullies right past Kyrie for the dunk. De'Aaron from the mid-range, no good there, hauled in by Saramago. He's running it the other way, feeding Duren inside. The spin and the pass to Max Christie for the open 3. Liking the start to this ball game here. Roddy, he's fouled on his drive attempt. During the one there called for the whistle. Saramago, clean look at 3. Just misses. Kyrie, tough shot. I mean, he and De'Aaron Fox are settling for some jumpers here. They're a little questionable here to start this game. Ellis gonna have to come up with something here at the end of the shot clock. Just gets the shot off, and it is no good. Fox spinning, and that's a nice take right there. That's the kind of stuff, if you're a Dallas Maverick fan, that you want to see out of De'Aaron Fox rather than some of these tough jumpers. Wasn't a beautiful pass by Ellis, but it got to Mago eventually, who hits the 3. Under 7 minutes remain here in the first quarter. Lonzo Ball with the strip. Pulls up for 3, and would have been a nice two-way play had he been able to finish that one. Defending Fox again. This time, Fox draws the foul. Saramago pulls up for 3 beyond the screen again. Certainly been taking a lot of threes so far in this series, and that was kind of the strategy that I think Dallas wants him to be. If Dallas can force him to continue to be a pull-up three-point shooter, I think they'll live with that. It's more when he's downhill like this, you get more concerned, although Vancouver could not find an open shot there. Fox, quick trigger off the Jordan Walsh pass, and that's 3 more points on the board for De'Aaron Fox. Very good start for him. Hitting some tough shots early and now getting some easier shots here towards the middle of this quarter. Defended by Lonzo Ball here. He swings it out to Jordan Walsh for 3. No good that time around. Mago in the post. Double team comes. Swings it out to Josh Green. Probably could have used one more swing there. Beauchamp spinning and driving. Kicking it out to De'Aaron Fox. Another good look for Fox, who's had a very good quarter here. That's that signature step back jumper in the mid-range. I mean, Saramago, 4 for 6. The rest of the team, 2 for 10 so far in this first quarter. If Mago took that step back jumper 40 times a game, I mean, that's an easy 50-point performance. I don't know if I'd want him taking that shot 40 times a game, but I mean, he just never misses. Max Christie with a nice steal. Finds Saramago, who dishes it out. Nice, unselfish play. Leads to a wide open corner three, Lonzo Ball. McCollum, top of the key, awaits a Hartenstein screen. Fires off of it. Too strong on the attempt. Mago now. Driving in on Johnny Furphy. Dishes it inside to Hardy. There was no space at all there. McCollum. Step back. Drills it. That's a pretty shot. 23-19 here, under 2 minutes remain in the first. Christie. He tries to get a nice fancy finish, but another Dallas block. Great hustle there by Andre Hardy to give us a second chance here. Christie gets another attempt. Off the mark again. At least he didn't get it swatted. Christie. Third time is the charm, in fact. And this time, 3 points on the board for the starting two guard. Hartenstein on inside. They're going to call a foul on Andre Hardy. Not sure I agree with that one. But it's what was called. Lonzo Ball off the screen. Misfires on his three-point attempt. 2 for 6 in the first quarter for Lonzo. De'Aaron Fox with the miss. We've got one more shot here in the first quarter. Lonzo, this one finds its way home, and that'll be an 8-point Vancouver lead after one here in game two. I liked that first quarter a decent bit. I mean, other than De'Aaron Fox, I think we shut down their team pretty well. I liked what Saramago showed us early. We'll have to see if we can continue as this game goes along. We're going to jump ahead to about halfway through the second quarter here, as the difference will remain pretty steady. Vancouver leads by 5, 37-32. Up top for Duren, and what a pass by Easy A. Once again, we hit a very similar lob. So it might have even been a harder pass for Ellis this time around. The one assist of the game in game one. For a similar attempt there. Leonard Miller tries the putback, but couldn't get it to go. Kyrie Irving drills the pull-up midi in transition. McKnight catch and shoots. This one rattles around and finds its way down and in. Vancouver leads by 8, 5 minutes left. Furphy responds with a 3 from the wing. Leonard Miller. Tons of space, but can't quite get it to go. He has a very insignificant knee injury, but could be affecting him here on these three-point attempts here early on in the series. Ellis to McKnight. No good on that one. Furphy hauls in the rebounds. Kyrie to Schroeder. Lonzo, good contest there. Inside, McKnight on the cut, gets the foul, and finishes through the contact. Love to see that from Greenlight McKnight. De'Aaron on the drive. He'll draw the foul off of Lonzo Ball. Ellis pulls up off of a Mago screen and hits. Vancouver now leads by 10. Fox step back. No good there, Duren. On the rebound, Christie now. He pulls up off a screen, and the jump shot's starting to fall here for Vancouver. De'Aaron trying to answer the pace, and he gets that one to go. McKnight, another jumper off of a screen. This one off of 1 foot. And these Vancouver Blizzard shooters are really feeling it here as we come down the home stretch of this second quarter. Ellis. Now it's his turn to take a tough 3, and we hit again. What is going on here down the stretch of the second quarter? Everyone's hitting their jumpers here. Saramago's turn. Saramago hits. And just like that, it's a 17-point lead Game was pretty close not long ago, but just a rain of 3-point attempts. A lot of them pretty difficult, but all of them makes. Till Ellis missed that jumper there to end the streak of jumpers, but 59-44, 5 seconds remaining. We'll see if Saramago can get something to go. It'll actually be Jalen Duren on the rebound, and even he's hitting jumpers here en route to a 17-point halftime lead. Taking a look here at the box score. I know we don't lead by 20 here, but again, with so much gameplay going on, I think unless Dallas can make a comeback here in the second half, we might just be taking a look at the Vancouver makes again, unless Dallas can bring this back into single digits at some point here in the third quarter. We've played really well, built ourselves a nice little lead with that insane couple-minute stretch there at the end of the second quarter. Max Christie hits the first shot of the second quarter for the Blizzard. Aaron Fox gets it stripped away by Christie. He finds Albert Ellis, who rises up for the slam in transition. Lively. No good there. And McKnight hauls in the board. Going the other way. Lonzo feeds McKnight, so a nice two-way sequence there. Saramago inside to Duren, almost got tipped away, but Duren finds an easy layup when it's all said and done. Bounce pass, what a beautiful pass by Lonzo. Not a very big window there, but Duren slams it home. Almost stolen away, but it leads to a Saramago catch and shoot three. Now Vancouver leads by 20. In transition again, inside to Saramago, tips, missed, and this time Saramago gets it to go, also getting fouled as well on the play. Mago going against Furphy, finding Hardy. I don't know how that pass wasn't stolen. Under a minute left, Lonzo Ball hits it to make it 86-61. The lead only ballooning here for Vancouver in the fourth quarter. That'll be a nice last second jumper to end the third, but 22 points is the lead after 3. Dallas unable to make a comeback here, and after a tough game 1 loss, I think Vancouver has made a statement here that the 7th seed is coming for blood here in this round 1 playoff matchup. So we're going to go ahead and simcast here this fourth. We'll go a little slow just in case Dallas does something crazy, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. And the Blizzard will come away with a 130-86 victory. De'Aaron Fox does drop 32 on 50% from the field, but Kyrie Irving struggles in this game. Nobody else in double digits for Dallas here. 32, 12, and 8 with 2 blocks for Saramago. Excellent. 3 scores in total, over 20 points. 7 of 8 from 3 for Goodnight McKnight, and Albert Ellis with a double-double, putting in 5 rebounds as well. I think one guy that's killing the Mavericks right now is Cameron McKnight, so we're going to make sure on and off ball is both tight. They've been going over screens already. So we're gonna make sure that, and then off-ball screens, they're gonna start switching on McKnight. A lot of his looks are, of course, coming off of off-ball screens. So if they can get somebody to better contest those, I think that's gonna help Dallas's case. 7 of 8 in the last game for McKnight from beyond the arc really killed them, and so I think that's gonna be the main big-time strategic adjustment. Not really going to do much in addition to that. Whoever loses this game might start playing their starters a little bit more because it starts to get, close to elimination. Maybe we'll wait till somebody wins 3 games until we start really overplaying the starters, but that's going to be the big strategic adjustment ahead of game number 3. After 2 games in Dallas, we of course now are in front of the Vancouver faithful for Game 3. We split the road games. That's really what you want to do here as the underdog. If you can get the split on the road. Step 2, protect home court. C- is the highest home court advantage we've had so far in our stadium. Playoff atmosphere helping us escape the D's. I don't know why we've always had such bad home court advantage. Not that I think it really affects anything in the game. It just more affects maybe my pride. But Jalen Duren, a couple of early looks. Don't know if Duren versus Lively is the matchup I want to try to attack here to start this game, as it results in a couple of misses early. Saramago takes the Duren screen, goes all the way to the basket off of it. Nice strong take and a beautiful screen by Duren to free him up. Walsh fires off a screen, and that's no good for him. Running the other way, we find McKnight baseline for the easy 2-point jumper. Fox on the cut. They get it to him. Thought that was going to be a steal by Saramago for a moment, but instead it's an easy De'Aaron Fox layup. Saramago fires off a screen for the miss, and Kyrie's transition three-pointer will also not find his mark. Duren in the post finds a wide open Ayrton Saramago, who drills the three-point shot for 5 early points. De'Aaron misses on that 3. So far, De'Aaron and Kyrie missing some jump shots early. That's what we want to see here, as Saramago hits his second three-pointer of the first quarter. That's a deep attempt for Kyrie. And to take a step or two in on the next time up. Well, of course, he's capable of hitting those, but you probably don't want to take them unless they're necessary. Duren with a nice two-handed finish. Kyrie with Max Christie on him finds Roddy for 3. Makes it 12-7 here as we approach the midway point of the first quarter. Saramago looking for something in the post. Albert Ellis decided to wait until he was done posting up to feed him inside, and it results in a steal. That was just a really not in sync play altogether. De'Aaron Fox for 3 ties this up at 12 apiece. And one thing I wanted to talk about here as we are early in Game 3 is, as you can tell by the fact that this episode was a little bit more delayed than maybe the pace we've been going at before. One of the, I think, compromises of doing playoff formatted episodes this way is I don't think we'll be able to keep up with the 3 video per week pace that we've been keeping on for quite some time in this series. Pretty much the entirety series has been about a 3 episode per week pace. And with this, I think at maximum, I'm going to be able to do more of a 2 episode per week kind of pace. And with that, though, I might be doing less episodes per week, but I think with the length of these kind of playoff episodes, you can certainly get more than 1 sitting's worth out of these episodes. I think most viewers who are wanting to, of course, see the gameplay aren't going to watch all 2+ hours in 1 sitting. So if you do 2 episodes a week of this, even, you know, a run all the way to the finals, and I might do the finals a little bit differently, to be fair, would take, you know, in real time a maximum of 2 weeks, whereas the way I've done it in the past, I might release episodes more frequently, as that's a terrible foul by Albert Ellis. The episodes might be, you know, more frequent, but with less happening each episode, we'd end up with, you know, a playoff run sometimes taking upwards of a month in real time, which is just a long time to do 1 singular postseason run, when, of course, the goal in a series like this is to see multiple years and to see kind of how this team can grow and develop together. And so longer episodes, It'll take a lot of time for me to record, and that's ultimately why it will go from 3 episodes a week to 2 episodes a week. It's really just the editing time. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but editing, not my favorite thing to do with my free time, so it takes me a while. I always, I'll get it done. It just, I can't do it at the pace that I would release, these normal 30-minute or so episodes that we've had throughout this series. But ultimately, I think going to less episodes a week, or at least until the playoffs are done. Of course, once we get back to the off season, eventually, when it ever comes, I think we'll go back to more 3 episodes a week until we get back to the playoffs again. But 2 episodes a week, but a lot happening in each episode. I think it's a good compromise. I do, of course, want to hear your thoughts. If you'd rather see the playoffs presented in another way, as we are now past the first quarter here in Game 3 with a 2-point lead. If you have other suggestions for how to format playoff episodes, something that you see from other creators, I'm certainly open to some ideas, because I'll tell you what, just even editing this episode, I don't mind the recording part of it. I don't mind watching this team play a bunch, but editing, whew, it is a process. And so if you have other ideas that could maybe change it, like I said, I'm open to other ways to format playoff episodes going forward. For me, I do like to be pretty involved in the playoffs. I don't like to simulate a ton, because I feel like with basketball in particular, it all kind of boils down to the postseason. Like, now more than ever, there are teams that aren't even scared to admit that they really only care about the playoffs when it comes to basketball. The intensity ramps up. You've seen through the first couple of games that our scoring is not coming quite as easily as it did in our regular season games. The defensive effort is ramped up, strategy is ramped up, and I just think it's very enjoyable to kind of have this chess match of how to strategize and try to beat an opponent who's just playing you over and over again. So I don't like a ton of simulating. I do like to be heavily involved in the playoffs, but that comes with, of course, the I don't know what you'd call it, the consequence, I guess, of it taking a long time to go through the playoffs. So that's kind of my thought on the formatting. Thought I'd maybe start off this game, finishing off my thoughts here, as we're just now getting to the part of the series where the playoffs are going to become a much bigger part of the series. We've kind of got our core. If we're talking asset-wise, our 4 most important players are probably already on the team in terms of team building aspirations. I think Jalen Duren, Albert Ellis, Greenlight McKnight, and of course Mago are going to be the players that we're trying to build around, and we're going to be shifting more of the pieces around them and finding ways to maximize their talents is really the goal going forward. And a lot of that's going to be, how do we maximize our playoff chances? As we are now already almost to halftime. And so finding that perfect balance of how we want to present the playoffs is something that's now going to become very relevant. I think I could have done a better job of it with the Nashville Sound, and I want to try to find my perfect formula. I found the formula that I like going forward for baseball towards the end of my Colorado Rockies series, and now I'm trying to find the formula that I want to use Jalen Duren for 3 again. Try to find that formula, that perfect formula for the NBA playoffs now. Let's hop in here to the final minutes of the first half commentary-wise. Jalen Duren unable to hit the layup. De'Aaron Fox, shot clock winding down. Albert Ellis does a nice job staying home defensively to force The miss. McKnight stripped on his way up by De'Aaron. Pass ahead to Lively, and he tries to knife his way through traffic and draws the foul. Saramago pulls up for three. No good on that attempt. And that will take us to the halftime break. Dallas 49, Vancouver 47. Neither team on pace to score 100, much like it was back in game one. The defenses are playing well, getting contests up on a lot of shots, and not making things easy for the offenses to get into the rhythms that they want to. Saramago 17 points, but shooting, he's not shooting bad by any means, but he is under 50%, which he's normally sitting comfortably above 50% here in spotlight games in year two. We're holding De'Aaron Fox to 3 of 11, which you like to see. Can we gain an edge here some way in the second half? Let's find out now, as Lively with the slam gets things going for Dallas, and a nice response by McKnight. Driving inside. This time it's Fox's turn to drive inside, and he draws the Albert Ellis foul on his way to a three-point play. Does miss the free throw, though. And in transition, Saramago slams it all on top of Jordan Walsh. Irving fouled on a three-pointer. What is up with this team and fouling three-point shooters? Greenlight McKnight had a major problem with it all throughout this playoff series. We've seen Albert Ellis do it as well. I don't understand why we've had so much of a problem of it's not something that happened a ton, I feel like, in the regular season, but the way we're defending here in the playoffs is just a little overzealous at times. Albert Ellis trims this to just a 1-point game here. Shot clock coming to a close. De'Aaron Fox puts up a three that he misses. Fox now matched up in the post against Mago. Nice passing around the horn for the Blizzard, but no good on the corner three. Irving catch and shoots. Got a little bit too much mustard on that attempt. Double comes in the post. Kick out to Albert Ellis, top of the key. But a miss there as well. As you can see, Dallas going through a little bit of an offensive lull here, but that will end right here with a transition layup off the glass for Kyrie. McKnight on the cuts. Gets the slam and flexing the muscles on his way back to play defense. Hartenstein rims around and out, and the rebound goes to Ayrton Saramago. Lonzo, pure three-point shot there, and Vancouver's now in the lead. On the cut, tipped away and stolen by McKnight. Duren bringing the ball up, feeding the big man on the inside, and that's will earn him a pair of free throws. This game has been very close all throughout the third here. Both teams trading baskets, and we now hop in with under 3 minutes to play. That Andre Hardy three makes it a 4-point Vancouver lead, and Fox cannot respond with a three of his own. Saramago gets a screen, tries to get Furphy to jump, but instead finds Hardy inside. He is not somebody that we've seen be super involved at any point in these playoffs, but back-to-back baskets for him here in the third. Christie catch and shoots. No good for him. McCollum with it, needs to come up with something. Christie on the defense. Scoop underneath, and he gets it to go at the very last second. Pick and roll. Hardy with the rights, no good there. Going for his third straight Vancouver baskets. McCollum can't make this a one-possession game. Other way now, Lonzo Ball takes a Saramago screen, tries to turn it into a 3, but unable to do so. That was quick shot trying to get that 2-for-1 opportunity here as the third quarter comes to a close. De'Aaron Fox was left all by himself, but he misses the 3. Saramago from the mid-range. That last-second jumper will not fall, so it will remain just a 4-point ball game here after 3. A very competitive first Vancouver game at home so far. Neither team yet able to gain that edge. Start the fourth. Hardy with the dunk. Been going to him pretty often here in this second half. And it's working out pretty well for us for a guy who, even in the regular season, rarely got involved on the offense here. Going to him again. If it's working, why go away from it? After a couple of pump fakes, he pours 2 more points on the board for us. Blow by Schroeder, gets right by Albert Ellis for 2. Ellis takes the Hardy screen. This time went for the pick and pop, but Hardy wasn't open enough. Ellis ends up taking the 3, but it's no good for Vancouver. Irving to Schroeder. Catch and shoot is off the mark. 3-point lead for the Blizzard. That's a strong drive by Ellis, and he draws the shooting foul. Pair of free throws for the rookie point guard. Pick and roll. Schroeder on the drive, Ellis on the defense, and he forces a kick out. Furphy has some space, but misses the 3-point attempt. Ellis off the dribble. Didn't have the touch needed to make that one. Step back 3 for Kyrie. Tough shots. And a predictable result there. Josh Green. Doubled. Swings it out to Lonzo Ball. Finds the open man on the perimeter. And Lonzo makes it count. Irving now. A much easier shot. And more of the results he wanted there on the catch and shoot. Ellis, another strong drive. This time gets to the more traditional way. We got some isolation for Kyrie Irving, but some strong defense by Lonzo Ball will force the miss. Josh Green with it on the drive. Nice shot off glass. Rarely do you see Josh Green be aggressive in circumstance like that, but I like seeing it there. Andre Hardy with a nice defensive play. Ellis trying to hit the transition basket, and he does just that. And just like that, Vancouver leads by 11. Foul on the shot there will get Kyrie Irving a couple of free throws. It'll also get the starters back on the court for both teams, as Ellis unable to make the most of that open jumper. Walsh dribbles it off of, I thought it was off of Christie, but they'll say it was off of himself there. Trying to show off some fancy dribble moves, but it didn't look like he had him. Step back jumper for Albert Ellis, about as smooth as it can get. Fox with the match. No good on that jumper. Dern on the inside. Gets a double. Maybe not, didn't see it. Gets his own rebound and draws the foul on the second chance opportunity. Roddy for 3. Pick and pop works to perfection for Dallas. Swing around the horn. Ellis finds McKnight with the shot clock coming to a close, and Dern a little overzealous there on the offensive glass. 10-point lead as Irving will get fouled on a 3-pointer again. What is going on with Cameron McKnight and fouling jump shooters, man? Here he's getting stripped. Tried to save it, but into the hands of Derek Lively. Walsh the other way. Fouled by Christie. And that's free throws for Dallas. Saramago, tough 3. Don't mind him taking 3s, but I don't know if he needs to take the tough ones like that. Luckily, Dallas unable to get anything going in transition. Duran trying to find Ellis. On the inside is stolen away, and Kyrie misses the transition basket. Now it's Vancouver running the floor. And both teams trying to get some easy, quick baskets. It ends up being in Vancouver's favor. No good on that isolation 3 from Kyrie. Now pick and roll for Mago, who finishes on the inside. Vancouver is past the 100-point mark. Offense looking a little bit better here in the second half. That one's tipped away by McKnight. He hustles to the ball and gets the baskets. Nice look there from Greenlight McKnight, who's now defending Kyrie, who finds the open Roddy for 3. Back down to a 10-point game. Christie, a horrible pass. That's going to be picked off by De'Aaron Fox. What are we doing? Terrible fouls and terrible passes. I know we have an 8-point lead right now, make that 11, but way too much sloppiness, I think. Just in terms of very avoidable mistakes. Some of these passes are just not anywhere close to good, and some of these fouls are just completely unnecessary. But that 3 by De'Aaron Fox makes it a single-digit game here with under 2 minutes remaining. McKnight misses on the 3, and Duran with the putback extends it back to double digits here. Roddy from the mid-range. I think we might have to watch the rest of this one out. I mean, this game is not over yet. I thought we had this one in the bag, but just some kind of dumb mistakes here down the stretch have allowed Dallas to hang back in. This is a 2-possession game right now. Ayrton Saramago with the miss. Walsh with the rebound, and Dallas is pushing it up the court. Fox, step back. It's no good. Duran with the rebound. I mean, that's a pretty smart strategy there, trying to send him to the line. But they had the foul to give, so it will not be Duran. Instead, it will be Albert Ellis. They've decided not yet to foul. Setting the double instead. Swinging around the horn, Max Christie, an open look, and that just might be the dagger. Didn't expect to need a dagger in the final 30 minutes of this game to seal it, but a win is a win is a win, which is ultimately what we will get here in Vancouver. Now they'll foul Jalen Duran, just extending this game longer than it really needs to be. But we'll take the series lead over the 2-seeded Dallas Mavericks. And able to overcome some just kind of rookie/young team mistakes down the stretch in this game. I think if we can avoid doing that in the future of this series, we've got a good chance to continue winning games. But I am a little bit concerned about what I saw here at times from this young squad. And just kind of an overall carelessness, I guess would be the word, that I saw at times. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and we got to make sure that we take care of possessions in the future. Your player of the game is Ayrton Saramago. Had some really good, powerful finishes in this game. Contested finishes as well, and probably got to figure out a way to see if the Mavericks can try and stop him in the future. 36, ended up above 50% in this game when it's all said and done. 18 for McKnight and a double-double for Jalen Duran with also 6 assists on the board. Few too many turnovers, though, for my liking. Few too many fouls, maybe, as well. But ultimately, like I said, you still get the win, which is what matters. Andre Hardy probably had his best game in the playoffs. 30 for Irving, 25 for Fox. Not a very good efficiency, though. Some more changes here for Dallas ahead of this next game. Xavier Tillman is going to try to enter the starting lineup. It will hurt their shooting, but I don't think it matters as much in 2K as it does in other games when you have a couple of non-shooting players on the court. I think De'Aaron Fox and Kyrie Irving will still be able to get theirs. I struggled whether or not it should be Walsh or Furphy getting the backup power forward minutes, but they're hoping that Tillman can be a little bit more of a bother for Saramago on the interior. He does have a much higher interior defense than either Walsh or Murphy have. And so we'll see if this strategy works for Dallas heading into game 4 down 2-1. A win here would give us quite a commanding lead as we try to win our first playoff series here. Split on the road, trying to avoid the split at home here in game 4. Let's see what we can manage. De'Aaron Fox for 3. A nice jumper there to start off the game for the Dallas Mavericks. Mago with it. Defended by Tillman. This is Dallas's big strategy here. They were overpowered on the interior at times in game 3. Trying to avoid that here in game 4 to see if that could be enough to make the difference in what was ultimately a pretty close game in game 3. Christie. Tough looking 3. That's not really the shot I feel like we want this offense to create. Overall, I think Christie takes good shots. That's just maybe a little overzealous from our role player. Inside to Ellis. That's a nice finish. With De'Aaron Fox playing right up close to him. Fox. Another really good look at 3. This time it's no good for him. Christie on the drive. Now that's a better take. Still couldn't get the finish to go though. Kyrie trying to sauce up McKnight, and that's gonna be a beautiful 3 from Kyrie Irving. One thing about Sacramento is they just haven't had both of their players, their stud backcourt players, have a good game at the same time. They've both played decently, or they've had one of them play well while the others just really struggled. And that's why Dallas's offense has been a little bit sluggish so far through the first 3 games, and they're hoping they can get both of them going in game 4. Pass inside to Tillman and is stripped away. Vancouver running it the other way. Christie has it. Swings it to Saramago. Catch and shoot jumper is down and in. 10-6 early in favor of the Vancouver Blizzard. Tillman with it. Swings to Irving. That's a deep 3-pointer. I forget what I said earlier about him needing to take a step or 2 in. That was easy for Kyrie. That pass there bouncing off the hands of Greenlight McKnight. Doesn't look like he was expecting it. Thought Christie was going to go up for that shot for sure. Well executed pick and roll by Dallas on the other end. Now Vancouver tries a pick and roll themselves, leading to a Derek Lively foul. Mago getting a couple of free throw opportunities here. Tillman with the open jumper, but it's no good. That is going to hurt their spacing a little bit, although honestly Tillman's a pretty similar caliber shooter to Jordan Walsh. He's just more of an interior defender compared to Jordan Walsh's perimeter defense. Ellis, top of the key. No good on that 3. Well, now getting to the halfway point. It's just a 1-point ball game early. Neither team able to get off to an early edge in this one. Mago for 3. That's a pretty jumper. 15-11. Fox with it. Isolating against Lonzo, driving to the rim and drawing the foul. Saramago takes the Duran screen and gets himself to the line where he would split his free throws. McCollum making his money in the mid-range as he always does. Saramago, isolation against Tillman, unable to stop him on the interior there. What a move and a finish by Ayrton Saramago, who's now on fire here in the first quarter. So far, early returns. Tillman not doing a great job defending Saramago, who adds to his total here. 20-15 for the Blizzard. Martin, catch and shoots from the wing. Ellis with it, gets a very nice screen from Saramago, pulls up at the free throw line and misses on the jumper. Fox going the other way, misses a jumper of his own. Up towards Saramago, good defense there by Tillman. De'Aaron Fox just blows right by Josh Green and gets the easy basket that'll tie this up at 20 apiece. Inside to Ellis. He finishes through the De'Aaron Fox contest. Fox. Step back. Lonzo with the nice defense. Christie with it. Trying to sauce up the defender. It's going to be stolen away instead. Not a good start to this game for Max Christie. I just got to say that. De'Aaron Fox, the lefty jumper won't fall. Pick and roll with Hardy. Had his playoff career high last time out, his first time in double figures, and gets the finish to go there. Assist to Saramago, and the pick and roll works in Dallas's favor on the other end. Lonzo, the spin, the pump, and the rejection. Looked like the makings of a pretty strong drive, though, but he gave the opportunity for the help defense to come. Ends up with an extra point via the three-pointer anyway, so I think we'll take that result when it's all said and done. Fox with a nice drive to draw the Lonzo foul. Down to a minute left in the first. Mago isolating against Furphy and making a statement with the slam. Right on top of Isaiah Hartenstein. And that's the kind of plays he can make when he's got a Furphy defending him. You gotta find ways to defend Saramago. It is not an easy task, and Furphy certainly, I don't think, is up to it. Pick and roll. This one's tipped away. Mago with the clear lane to the basket. Back scratching for another vicious slam. And he has had an absolute incredible first quarter here. Tillman unable to slow this man down. He's been hitting some jumpers. He's been finishing with style, and he's got Vancouver up by 7 as we enter the second quarter here in Game 4. And we're going to jump quite a bit ahead here in the second quarter. Had a 7-point lead to start the second, and about 2/3 of the way through the second quarter, that will remain a 7-point lead. But cutting into that lead is Derek Lively, who turns that steal into a 3-point opportunity. Saramago rims out on his 3-point attempt. Recently checked back in here in the second after a wonderful first. Kyrie no good on the 3-pointer. Saramago has a mismatch in the post. Finds the open McKnight. Can't finish on the 3, but is that Kyrie who tipped that in? Either way, the basket will go to Saramago. Inside, trying to find De'Aaron Fox, but is stolen away by Straight A Ellis. Off a screen, Saramago pours in 3 more points. Makes this a 10-point Vancouver lead. Pulling up from the mid-range is Kyrie with that silky smooth jumper. Saramago inside to Duran. That's a nice feed and an easy finish for the starting center. Kyrie left way too much space there. That had to be a defensive breakdown. There's no way he should have all that room to fire. Saramago shooting another 3 here. Trying to test that on fire. Maybe settled a little bit on that jumper, but it was a pretty easy jumper and he was open, so I can't really complain. Under a minute left here. We're going through the second quarter quickly in this one. Mago left alone in the corner and missing on his last 2 3-point attempts. And honestly, a pretty good foul there to prevent the easy De'Aaron Fox dunk. Going for another 3 here. This time he's found the range. Top of the key. Right down the barrel for Mago. Last shot of the first half is going to be a miss by De'Aaron Fox. So a 9-point Vancouver lead heading into the break. I think Ayrton Saramago has really put his imprint on this game and is a big reason we lead by 9. We were pretty much even when he wasn't on the court, 10 of 15. So my experiment to start Xavier Tillman to keep him from scoring a bunch on the inside hasn't particularly worked. He's also taken advantage of the minutes when Tillman was not on the floor, but 4 for 7 from 3 at the half. Both he and Kyrie Irving threatening some 50-point performances. It's been a really good Kyrie game. But again, when one of them is playing well, the other isn't, as Fox is just 3 for 15 at the half. Saramago fires up a triple here to start the third quarter. Roddy does as well, both of them missing. Christie up top for Duran, and a sloppy sequence here. It ends up in Duran's hands, and Lively didn't fall for the pump fake, so it's going to be a contested Albert Ellis 3 for that possession. Speaking of contested threes, this time it's Lively's turn to take a weird 3. These centers are acting like they're out here being stretch 5s at times here in this series. Saramago gets his first second half basket to go. That puts him at 30 points already. And Kyrie continues to cook. Another 3-pointer for Mago and another 3-point make. Make that 6 triples on the day. We tried to make Saramago a shooter. That was the goal of putting Tillman on him. The problem is, if you're a Dallas fan at least, that Mago has very much so become a shooter in this game. 3 seconds left. Lefty for Mago, but he gets it to go inside anyway. Kyrie to Tillman to Roddy for 3. That one is good for Dallas, trimming it to an 11-point Vancouver lead. Setting up another screen for Saramago. He's filling it tonight. We'll get that one to go, though. Fox with the spin, and it's gonna be a foul on Duran. Unfortunately, I thought it was some good defense, but got some arm there on the contest. Saramago with a missed 3 there, and now Dallas trying to cut into this 9-point deficit. Fox won't get the job done. Continues to struggle tonight. Green for 3, right down the barrel, and it's 70-58 with 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Push ahead pass to Josh Green. Back inside to Mago. Hartenstein went for the steal, and instead it's an easy deuce. 37 already on the board for Ayrton Saramago. Fox missing again. He continues to try to just push through this cold streak tonight. And it's really helping Vancouver, so I won't complain about it. Kyrie, he's been really good tonight, but can't get that one to go. Mago another three. Mago another make. 40 for Saramago. We still got a quarter and a half left in this game, but we're starting to build a pretty substantial lead here. That Kyrie jumper will make it just 15. Saramago trying to answer with a midi of his own. Not quite as successful. Inside pass to Lively hits him right in stride and leads to the easy flush. Pick and roll. Lonzo Ball swings it out to Saramago. Another triple for Ayrton Saramago. This man is going wild from beyond the three-point line in this game like we have never really seen from him. He's certainly had some good shooting games, but not at the volume he's showing us in this game. Tough jumper for Kyrie. Now Duren has the mismatch on the inside. Swings it out to Saramago. Another three for the Brazilian beast and the leader of this franchise. Dallas had a plan to stop him, and it just quite simply has not worked out, as Lonzo Ball will get that contested jumper to fall at the third quarter buzzer. Now, normally a 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter, I would just simulate here, but Saramago has a really good chance with 45 points already to score his first 50-point game, both in his playoff career and in his spotlight game career. So rather than simulate, I would watch the entirety of the fourth quarter to see if he could finish it off. Only needs 5 points to do so in the final quarter of this game. Again, we could have probably rested him, but why do that when you can get him to try and go for 50? That's my thoughts on the scenario. But as you can see here, we're already under 5 minutes left to go in the fourth by the time he would get his next basket. And by the time he would eventually reach 50, there'd be just 90 seconds remaining. I thought he was going to have a chance at a 60 bomb with having 45 after 3. Ultimately, we'll settle for the 50 as well as the game 4 victory. I think the tale of this game was pretty cut and dry. Dallas tried to defend Saramago a different way. He'd been dropping, 30 points pretty consistently. Tried to switch it up, and it just didn't work out. The night that they tried to make him a shooter, he just happened to have his career best night as a shooter. I think the general idea of trying to force him into being a jump shooter isn't bad process, but the results 9 of 16 from 3 in this game. Also 11 rebounds and 6 assists. Just an unstoppable force in game 4. And we're going to have to switch up the defensive strategy going against him again, because that was absolute dominance. And he even got a lot of shots to go inside as well. Kyrie with 38 on 50% from the field, but 3 of 22 for De'Aaron Fox isn't good enough for Dallas, and now they face elimination. So now it's kitchen sink time for the Mavericks, and step 1 of that is to have Derek Lively get the final shot at trying to defend Saramago. He's 7'1" and he's athletic. I think if anybody has a chance to do it on the Mavericks, it is him. We're also going to continue to customize how we are playing him. We've had on-ball pressure at moderates. We're going to put off-ball pressure at tights. We're going to go under all on-ball screens. We're going to hedge them. And we are going to stay attached. This should be always. I don't want Lively getting off of Saramago. Really, the strategy is make someone else other than Saramago beat us if you're the Mavericks. I think there's been little resistance against Ayrton Saramago so far on this, entire series. And so it's time here in Game 5, season on the line, to see if somebody else on this Blizzard team can be really the key to the victory here. We're going to have help on all cutting plays. I think that should help. And a lot of this stuff down here is going to continue to be automatic. We have kind of all screens set here, so I don't think we need to do individual screens, different settings. But hopefully Derek Lively can stick to Saramago. And again, hopefully we can make somebody else be the hero here. We have some custom settings against McKnight, trying to force him not to be a great shooter. I think Dallas has done a decent job defending McKnight in this series after we made the adjustments once he hit 7 threes in game 2. So if Dallas can force somebody like Albert Ellis or Lonzo Ball to have a massive game to try to beat them here in game 5, I think that's exactly what they want to do. Trying to do everything they can to limit Saramago's impact offensively. And we're also going to be having Derek Lively match minutes with Saramago. So whenever Mago's out there, Lively will be guarding him. Now, obviously, that puts a non-center on Jalen Duren, since, of course, Lively is their starting center, and that creates some sort of risk. My initial thought was, hey, if Jalen Duren's the reason you lose, then that's fine. And I was going to have the Mavericks start Johnny Furphy in an attempt to have 4 shooters on the court at all times. But, I think that would help the offense theoretically, because they've only broken the 100-point barrier once in this entire series. But honestly, through the first 4 games, I don't think, he's getting 20 minutes a game. I don't know how impactful those 20 minutes are. I don't see a noticeable increase in efficiency in their offense when Furphy's playing the 4. So as much as it makes sense on paper to start Furphy and hope Duren doesn't kill him just to get extra spacing and extra offense on the floor. I mean, they've scored 86 points in 2 of the last 3 games. They need help on offense. I just don't think Furphy has provided it so far in this series. And I think the risk that Duren would absolutely dominate Furphy on the boards and change this game is greater than the impact an extra shooter would have on the floor for Dallas. I don't think it really kind of matters offensively, if I'm being honest, who the other 3 players on the court, De'Aaron Fox and Kyrie Irving, are going to have the ball in their hands a ton. And it's likely going to be one of those 2 shooting. So you have the extra shooter in Roddy on the floor, who's been, for the most part, pretty good here. 1 of 2, 2 of 5, 5 of 6, and 2 of 4. I think he's good to continue to start. But then I'm going to have Hartenstein be the starting power forward for the Mavericks. I think it just lowers the probability that Jalen Duren takes over this game. Jalen Duren's not a creator by any means, but if you put a smaller player on him, he can absolutely dominate the offensive boards. And I think Hartenstein is going to limit that. In his 20 minutes per game, he's been really good on the boards. And so he should match up well against Duren. And I think this is about as good as it's going to get for Dallas. They need a good game here because, of course, they're 1 game from elimination. Kyrie Irving and De'Aaron Fox will both be playing 40 minutes. You could even argue for making it 44, but I also don't want them tired at the end of the game in case it is a close game. So keep them at 40. Again, Lively's going to match Saramago's 36 minutes, and that is where we will be ahead of game number 5. back on the road to try and eliminate the Dallas Mavericks once and for all. While, of course, Dallas is fighting for their season, their first post-Luka season. Not a great day in Mavericks history when they lost out on Luka Doncic in unrestricted free agency. Albert Ellis getting things started with a bang here. They were able to replace him with De'Aaron Fox, who is a very good player, but not the two-time MVP. And this is a very veteran-laden team. They do not want to go down in the first round after earning the 2 seed. And if they can't pick up a win today, that's exactly what's going to happen. Mago, first shot after his 50-point performance in Game 4. No good there. Lively is somebody that's, I think with a little bit of benefit of hindsight, I probably should have matched up on Saramago earlier. This 2-center lineup, I was just scared of it offensively. But like I kind of said in the preview to Game 5, what I've kind of learned here in this playoff series is really no matter who else is on the courts, Kyrie and De'Aaron Fox are taking a lot of the shots for this team. And with their ability to create, I don't think the lack of spacing from this 2-big lineup is really much of a problem. Of course, we still don't yet know if Derek Lively will even be able to slow down Saramago at all. So it might not even be a good solution to the problem that they've had guarding Saramago here in this playoff series. Running down the court is De'Aaron Fox here. Not a very good Game 4, and here he gets stripped by Albert Ellis. Christie going the other way, finds his way inside, but is blocked away by Derek Lively. Roddy, off the dribble 3-point attempt, is corralled by Albert Ellis after the miss. Duren had Kyrie on him, finds the open man beyond the arc. Saramago with the triple coming off, a career-high 9 3-point makes in Game 4. Looking like a splash brother out there. Nicely executed fast break opportunity led by Albert Ellis and Jalen Duren there. Mago with the drive, with the dish inside, passing it around, and this time it's Ellis finishing off the fast break. A very quick start to the game for Vancouver. Really overall, it's kind of, I feel like, been some questionable shot selection by Dallas that's turning into some fast break opportunities. This time a point blank attempt by Saramago. And it's already a double-digit lead here early. Missed there by McCollum, and Vancouver's out and running again. They have been very aggressive, pushing the ball up the court so far in this Game 5 action. McCollum driving in on Ellis and gets the finish. But Ellis played some pretty solid defense there, but McCollum, of course, a very skilled offensive player, even several years here into the future. Fox blocked away. Tried to sneak one by Jalen Duren, but that did not work out in his favor. Saramago with another triple here. Dallas is just hoping he doesn't break his career high that he set one game ago. Cody Martin rolls off the screens and hits the wide open 3-point jumper. Mago this time from the mid-range, no good. Definitely had time to square up a little bit better on that, I think. And he makes up for it on the other end with a very nice block. Blocks, steals, some questionable shot selection here, all leading to a lot of fast break opportunities for Vancouver. Got them off to that hot start. They've started to cool down just a little bit here. Albert Ellis tries to get things going, and that three-pointer will fall. Dallas really trying to make Albert Ellis lead Vancouver to victory with their strategy here today. Mago's going to get his in some way, shape, or form, no matter what. But if they can slow him down just a little bit and force somebody else to beat them, I think that's the formula for Dallas to get back in this series. In transition, feed to Lively. Good defense there, but he corrals the miss and makes the most of his second chance. Mago trying to drive on Lively. Pump fake there, and some nice defense. I'm definitely seeing a little bit of a difference here from this Lively defense. They're now drawing the foul on Saramago on the other end. Did make one quick adjustment there, just on the off-ball pressure. Feel like with Lively, we want to not have him tight off-ball just because of those increased backdoor cuts. We've already seen Dallas get burned by that early on in the first quarter. And Saramago certainly has, I think, the quickness mismatch over Lively. So if he plays too tight, I think it would just be backdoor / cutting heaven for Saramago in this game. Mago, turn around over Furphy, rims around and out. Down to a minute left here in the first, and that's a nice feed to a wide open Furphy for the slant. Pick and roll. Mago stops and pops, hits a tough jumper. De'Aaron Fox trying to drive in on Lonzo Ball, and Saramago with the help will give De'Aaron Fox some free throws. Christie fires off a screen. No dice on that attempt. Final shot here of the first is going to be De'Aaron Fox isolating against Hardy. That's going to be blocked away. Nice job by the center to not allow Fox to blow by him. And it's a 5 points Vancouver lead after one. Really strong start to the game, but after that, Dallas kind of settled in here and started to whittle down that lead. Cut it about in half here as we head into the second quarter. The second quarter, especially the non-Saramago minutes, we've done a pretty good job in this series of at least making it even. We haven't really used that time to ever build our lead, but with Saramago off the court, the best we can hope for is about even. And fast forwarding the first half of the second quarter, we have a very similar situation once again, as the team's able to pretty much hold fast here without Saramago on the floor, and now he's about a minute away from at least asking to check in. Of course, we'll have to wait for the whistle. That one's stripped away, and a high-effort play by Hartenstein to dive on the ball and get the steal. He gets rewarded with the shot here, which he makes, and just like that, Dallas using a quick 5-0 run to take the lead. Lonzo responds back and takes the lead right back in Vancouver's favor. Cut by De'Aaron Fox, and just easy athleticism for De'Aaron Fox. You know, that animation can sometimes look cheesy when a guy like Albert Ellis does it or something, but it looks a lot smoother when De'Aaron Fox does it. Just a very, very elite athlete at the point guard spot. Duran gets the double team, but doesn't really matter. I mean, double team's not going to do as good if it's a couple of point guards out there. Speaking of point guards, Kyrie Irving with a nice shot. Now, one storyline in this series, as Albert Ellis highlights exactly what I want to talk about right now, is one of the storylines I haven't talked to really much about is one of the comps, most popular comps for Albert Ellis coming out of the draft was Kyrie Irving. So to be able to face off against him in extended action here in his first ever playoff series has been really fun. And Kyrie, I think, has certainly had better games, although he's also had worse. But maybe seeing what Kyrie's done in this playoff series, can give us a glimpse as to what we can see from Ellis at some point down the line. Ellis has yet to really have a standout game in the playoffs. He had started to really turn things around in the regular season, and he's certainly not played poorly by any means. I feel like his defense has been good, and he's had, double-doubles with passing as he gets absolutely swatted on that fast break attempt. Just hasn't had that, 25-point performance that we were able to start seeing from him fairly regularly down the stretch in our spotlight games. Here he finds Max Christie in the corner for 3. And one more possession remains here in the first half. Vancouver retook that 5-point lead, but it's trimmed down to 2 with the final De'Aaron Fox shots. That's going to take us into halftime here, unless Albert Ellis with the half-court heave. Buzzer beater to bring it right back to 5. What a shot by the rookie. 48-43 as we head into the break. And I thought Albert Ellis played a really good half here. I forgot to show the halftime stats here. But Albert Ellis, according to the halftime show, was our first half MVP. That's exactly what we need from him here in Game 5 with Dallas trying so hard to shut down Saramago. Somebody else needs to step up. McKnight can help with that, although he can't hit the 3 here. But so far, it's been Ellis who's had himself a really solid game. Some good drives, a couple of nice shots in there as well, with some solid defense. McKnight gets a second chance at 3. There you go. Green light. Green to that one. Here he's going to foul Kyrie Irving on the drive. Superstar point guard earns himself a pair of free throws. And now it's a pick and roll inside to Duren. Nice feed. And Duren with a two-handed slam. Hartenstein, not a great defender. And so we can take advantage of that with some nice pick and roll with Jalen Duren. I think that would be a smart strategy for us here in this third quarter. Ellis on the drive. A little floater is no good. Fox trying to set somebody up. It's going to be Roddy here. Shot clock winding down. They'll feed it to Kyrie Irving. And once again, Cameron McKnight fouls a three-point shooter. It's been Kyrie Irving every time. I don't know what Kyrie's doing. It's making McKnight foul him so much, but it's kind of getting wild. Score will be 69-63 now after that Josh Green basket. And jump ahead a little bit here into the third. Some back and forth action between these teams. Neither team really able to go on a run up to this point in the third. Lonzo going coast to coast and finishing off the left. Fox. Lonzo guarding him, and he draws the foul. Done a nice job drawing whistles here. They haven't shot well from the field in a lot of games, Fox and Irving, but they have done a nice job getting to the free throw line consistently, whether that's by attempting threes or driving to the rim. Either way, they're getting themselves to the foul stripe at a much higher rate than we have so far in the postseason. Mago cleans up the miss, but can't quite get it to go on the finish. 3-point ball game. Furphy trying to tie it up, and that's exactly what he does. A minute left in the third quarter. Tie ball game. This is the kind of stuff that you love to see in the postseason. Two teams battling out, trading baskets here. One team trying to close it out while the other is fighting for their season. Green will tie it back up with that catch and shoot triple. Fox isolating, tough fadeaway shot off the mark for him. Final shot of the quarter. Lonzo, top of the arc, 3. Tie. Ball game. 74-74. Headed into the fourth. Both defenses playing hard. Both offenses trying to earn every single bucket that they can. Who can gain an edge here in the fourth quarter? Let's find out here. Schroeder with the spin. And the spin again. Finds Furphy in the corner. Back to Schroeder. And now we're fouling Dennis Schroeder behind the three-point line as well. What is wrong with our contests? That's a nice take there by Albert Ellis. Hop step. Drawing the foul. Finishing through contacts. That's what you love to see out of the Rook. Irving pulls up, giving Dallas back the lead. Leonard Miller on the cut. That pass was right on the money. Allowed him the quick and easy finish. Step back by Kyrie. Got a lot of space on that step back, just couldn't get the finish. Great screen there by Hardy. Frees up Ellis for the baseline jumper. Up to 19 points in this game, which I believe is his series high. Still, of course, plenty of time to go here in the fourth. Hardy with some nice defense to force the miss. Lonzo pulls up and misses on that jumper. Not been a particularly strong series for Lonzo. Hasn't had a lot of games where he's shot it well. But of course, he's still a very valuable backup backcourt piece for us. And has proven that several times here throughout this YouTube series. Maybe not so much this playoff series at this point. Drawing the foul is Hardy here. Still about half a minute before we get our starters back in this game. So far, still very tight ball game, as that Kyrie Irving jumper makes it a one-score game. Ellis, guarded by Schroeder, has to come up with something. He's going to pull up and drill the extended elbow jumper. 85-81 as that one's stripped away. Lonzo running the other way. Finds Miller on the inside, who finds Ellis. A lot of traffic there. Unable to get it to go off the glass. Schroeder with the miss on the other end. Ellis isolation. Gets right by Schroeder to the rim. And he has had a very impressive game driving to the basket. Being able to get by pretty much anybody who's guarding him when he's gotten the chance to isolate. Green, kind of a weird possession there. Needs some sort of whistle so we can get the starters back on this court. And that's... Oh, I shouldn't have asked for it. Are you kidding me? We foul Kyrie Irving behind the three-point line again? At least Lonzo Ball gets punished for it by getting checked out of the game, I guess. That Ellis layup will extend the lead to 3 here. Roddy will with the miss. A lot of blue jerseys there to contest. Christie. This one's stripped away and stolen by Kyrie Irving. Running the other way, finds a wide open De'Aaron Fox, and we have a 1-point game under 5 minutes. This one's looking like it's going to come down to the wire. Duren with the miss. Ellis trying to get something going with that pick and roll. Stop and pop. De'Aaron Fox. No good. That would have given Dallas the lead. Ellis not able to get that pull-up jumper to go. Now he's matched up against Lively. The double comes. Fox. No good. Would have had the lead again. 0 for 2 trying to give them the lead. Ellis now with the jumper. That one falls in. 4-point game. Under 3.5 remains. We're watching the rest of this one play out. The last time we had a crunch time game in game 1, We really faltered down the stretch, made some costly mistakes. Got to do better this time. Game 3 was, I guess, kind of close as well, but not nearly as much as Game 1 or what we have here in Game 5. Need better execution in the final minutes. Ellis finds Mago. Down low. He's stuffed by Lively. Fox to Hartenstein. Back to Fox here. Good defense by Vancouver, shutting down that action. Irving on the inside. Gets it to go. And with 2:30 remaining, it's a 2-point ball game. Christie on the cut. No pass there. I don't know who we're setting up here. Christie gets the ball. Screen by Saramago. Pull up baseline jumper. That's a big shot by Max Christie. Don't know if I would put the ball in Max Christie's hand in this spot, but he came through for us. Fox with the answer. Just like that, once again, back to a 2-point ball game. McKnight with the ball. Up top for Ellis! What an alley-oop! Ellis skying high for the finish with some flair. I was not expecting that. An alley-oop to 6'2" Albert Ellis, who then fouls De'Aaron Fox on the other end. Fox, 23 points on the night, which I believe is lower than Albert Ellis, who's come to play in a big way. 1 or 2 big baskets, and we can cement our way into the second round, and Saramago comes through in the clutch. Just 18 points for him. This is a guy who's been pretty much an automatic 30 so far in this series, with a 50-point game among them. So Derek Lively has certainly done a good job limiting Saramago, but Albert Ellis has really stepped up in his shoes. McKnight now. That's a big shot, but it's no good for green light McKnight. Dallas can tie it here with a minute left. Fox to the rim. No good. Duran hauls in the rebounds. Saramago going the other way finds Albert Ellis. He takes the shot. No good. But we get the offensive rebound. 43 seconds. Max Christie! Another big time shot by Max Christie down the stretch. Okay. Max Christie 2 for 2 in the final minutes. 2 very big shots as we lead by just 6. Dallas needs something out of this possession. Step back by Fox. And that's gonna start the foul game here for Dallas. I believe they had a foul to give. Yes, they did. So it won't be Duran on the line. He'll instead inbound here. Looks like we're trying to get some free throws for Saramago. Try to get him up to a 20-point game. But on the road, better execution this time. Got some better shots. Got the hands into Saramago for at least one of these possessions. Christie taking 2 of these big shots, got to admit, was a little nerve-wracking, but he was able to come through. And an 8-point lead, we'd have to absolutely crumble to not come away victorious here. Dallas will go for the quick 2. But as long as we don't whiff on our free throws, we've pretty much got this one in the bag. Still a 2-score ball game, but if Max Christie can at least hit this second free throw, they'll make it a 3-score ball game with 24 seconds. He went 0 for 2. Max Christie 0 for 2 keeps the door open for Dallas. We literally just needed one of them to make it a 3-score game. Are you kidding me, Max? He hits the 2 big shots but misses both of his free throws. Kyrie. I don't know why Dallas isn't going for 3 in any of these situations. Trading 2s for 2s isn't going to bring you back in this game. I mean, I know Christie just went 0 for 2, but that's not happening with straight A Ellis. Easy A Ellis. Ellis Island. Whatever you want to call him. Straight up baller here in Game 5. And, I mean, he's got to be player of the game here once we finish out this victory. That miss there is going to all but seal it. The Vancouver Blizzard will upset the number 2 Dallas Mavericks in just 5 games. I thought I might have underestimated this Dallas team after game 1, but since then, this team showed a lot of resilience. They showed that they just had more problems that Dallas had trouble solving than we had problems to solve on Dallas's end. I think, again, Dallas never got that game where both De'Aaron Fox and Kyrie Irving played well. I mean, both end up with 26 points, but on 26 and 22 shots respectively. Just not going to be enough when you have a supporting cast that had a hard time ever scoring over 15 points in a game. And again, you were taking most of the shots, to be fair. 32, 5 and 5 from Easy A Ellis. Really starting to come into his own as the second best creator and offensive threat on this team. What a performance from him to seal the deal. The Houston Rockets would also win their series in 5 games, and that's a matchup that I think is going to be very tough for our squad. I'm excited to try and develop a strategy for Houston because that team is very deep and very good. Let's go ahead and take a look at that roster. I mean, you got Booker and Durant up top. This is, of course, the team that won the championship last year. Şengün, Jabari Smith, Reed Shepherd. They have an entire starting 5 of 85 plus overalls, and then just a few 84, 84, 82 overalls that they can bring off the bench as well. This team not only has a star talent up top that, you know, rivals the scorers we just faced in Fox and Kyrie, and in my opinion even beats them, but the depth behind those top 2 is much, much better. And I think, perhaps most importantly, I think they have a pretty solid matchup for Ayrton Saramago and Jabari Smith Jr., who is 6'11", who combines some good perimeter and interior defense, who's a pretty good athlete as well, has some solid badges. Let's see what those badges are at this point in his career, if I can ever get there. He's got, let's see if he has any good defense, you know, box out beast, high flying denier. Doesn't have a ton of actual defensive badges, which is kind of surprising to me, considering I think he's viewed as a pretty good defender in real life. But I think just the fact, the nature of him being 6'11", it will help him defend Saramago. Maybe not as good as Lively did in that last game, but better than anybody else did. And I think good enough to allow the Rockets to have a good shot at victory. Elsewhere in the league, OKC won in 5 against New Orleans, and Minnesota takes down the Nuggets in 6. Orlando with the only sweep of the first round, and then Cleveland beat Brooklyn in 5. We did get one series go to 7. Detroit beat the Knicks in the final game. And then Indiana, who of course traded for Giannis, beat Chicago in 5. For the most part, I think probably the best team in every single bracket one. I don't think there's, even though, you know, seeding wise, you could argue there were some upsets, right? There are actually 4 seeds that were underdogs seed-wise that won, but like Denver, Minnesota's very close. I thought we were a good matchup against Dallas, and Detroit, New York's pretty close. And I think Cleveland is much better than Brooklyn. I don't know how Brooklyn got the 4th seed, if I'm being honest. So I think the final 8 right now are some really good teams, and I think we have our work cut out for us. I just want to take a look here. Let's just take a look at what those round 1 numbers ended up being for the squad. 34, 9, and 4 for Mago. Just under 55% from the field, 47% from 3 on 11 attempts a game. Absolutely nuts from him. Second leading scorer ended up being Albert Ellis, and thanks to that 32-point Game 5 performance, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, still shooting under 40% from the field. Up until Game 5, wasn't shooting that well. Cam McKnight shooting 50% on 15 points per game, up to 7 rebounds, much better than he was doing in the regular season. 11 and 14, or nearly 12 and 14 from Duren. You love it, with like 5 assists a game, which is kind of nuts. Lonzo Ball shot just 33% from the field. Josh Green shot just 35%. And Leonard Miller shot just 28%. But Hardy did pretty well, 53% from the field. Christie did okay at 42. I haven't really looked at advanced stats much in this series, and it's not on purpose by any means. It's just forgetfulness mostly. Saramago with a 36 PER, 29 efficiency, and a 28 game score in that game. Duren leading in all of the Duren second place in all of those. McKnight in 3rd, and then Ellis in 4th. Usage rate wise, I don't think this is accurate. There's no way nobody has over 20% usage. That just doesn't really make sense to me. But 2.1 estimated wins added from Saramago alone in the playoffs. Quite the long episode, I think, here, but that might just be the best way to do the playoffs going forward. The episodes will be long and they'll be less per week, but ultimately I think we'll get through the playoffs. If we're talking about real time, we'll get through the playoffs quicker than we would the way I did it in my last series. But let me know. I'm certainly willing to shake things up. I didn't get a lot of feedback based on the stream, so I just went ahead and tried something, and we'll see if it works long term or not. But that's all I've got here for this episode. A round 1 victory against the Mavericks with the Rockets on deck, and that episode will be coming out relatively soon, and I'll see you then. Bring the Blizzard.